Or you want anything else? I have some
No, I'm good. I might do some water.
water.
Yeah.
So help yourself.
Thank you.
And what else was I gonna say? That's it, huh?
Test, I guess.
Test.
Yeah, no, we sound good.
1 2 1 2.
There you go. Because we usually do tequila shots.
But we're just both not in it right now.
Yeah.
Thank God, dude. I was like, the whole drive down here, I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna...
No, we don't make.
No, we don't make people.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so no, I'm a tequila girl. Like, I like tequila, but today I was like not really feeling
one of those
I mean,
days
it's
for
a
everyone.
Tuesday, you know.
Yeah, and I don't know,
It's
just with the snow yesterday, like today, I feel like almost like kind of that lull from yesterday,
Exactly.
like the sleepy.
I don't know. The snow
feel.
makes me feel some sort of way, you know.
Yeah.
And then throw tequila on top of that. Not a good
Can't do
combo.
Not
Where do you
ready.
live?
So I actually live out in Fernley now.
Really?
I moved in October.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've been like making the drive to Reno and.
How has that been? Cause
It's not bad because it's so from like my house to Legends, it's exactly 30 minutes.
okay.
So like the hardest part has been like just rearranging my time of when I need to leave for shoots. I'm actually a lot closer to South Lake, which is really cool. I'm only 50 minutes now to South Lake.
Oh, that's not bad.
But to go like to Reno or anything, it's like 30, 45 minutes. And then to go to Mount Rose, it's like an hour and a half, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
yeah,
far.
that is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Which I mean, for us, South Lake is like an hour and a half, but Mount Rose is like 45 minutes.
Yeah, so now it's just like the opposite.
Yeah, you like switched off.
Which,
Yeah.
and I prefer to shoot in South Lake just because I feel like in North, there's a lot of like beaches that have permits. And I haven't gone that route yet. I'm afraid of that route.
Did I have this
the Galena Creek. Guy?
yeah.
Yeah,
happened
I've
to me.
never even shot in Galena Creek. I've had people ask, but I'm like, do you want to pay for my permit?
Right.
I've
Yeah, you
gone
got
and,
offered, right? Like
yeah.
somebody
There was
wanted to pay for your permit.
There's a family who we were there shooting, and they were like, the park ranger just came up and he's like, hey, do you have a permit to shoot here? I was like, you need a permit to shoot
I
at
hate
Galena
it.
Creek?
Oh, my
And he's
God.
like, he showed me a list of all the places you need a permit for, and some were just ridiculous. Like, you need a permit to shoot in freaking Washoe Valley. You need a permit to shoot in Rancho San Rafael.
so ridiculous.
Yeah,
And I was like,
I knew
since
that
when?
one, but I've never had, it's almost like any like state or local park or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, I've never ever had
I've
anybody
never
come up to me.
understood.
But I've heard photographers had rangers come up to them in Galena, so that's just why I always stayed away.
I've usually been going by the visitor center now, like, which is a little lower.
Okay.
Because there's like no one.
No one
Yeah.
goes there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I've been going to
So it works
Galena a lot, and I feel like that guy already saw my face, you know. So.
Yeah, you gotta hide. You're
Wait,
like, oh,
wait!
shit.
Before I tell this story, do you want to introduce yourself to the people and maybe
Oh,
just
yeah, I
plug your
guess.
Instagram too?
I guess I could.
So who are we
introduce myself.
talking to today, Ray?
So I'm McKenna Payne. I'm McKenna Payne Photo or McKenna Payne Photography. My Instagram is at McKennaPaynePhoto.
There you go.
I'm a local wedding photographer. I'm trying to break out into the travel wedding photographer.
There you go.
I don't want to be a destination photographer yet.
Okay.
I've only been to 6 states. So I was
Well, that's pretty good.
born and raised in Reno.
Which ones?
So I have family that are in North Dakota and South Dakota.
Okay.
I've been to Colorado. I've been to the Dallas airport, so I don't know if you can actually count Texas.
I don't know if it counts.
I think you gotta delete that one
I think you
after
have to like actually interact with the state to count it.
Damn it.
so that
Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, and then obviously Nevada and California.
There you
But
go.
Nice.
those
That's
are
not
like
bad.
the same
It's a lot
to me.
more than some people.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I've only been to Cali and like that's it.
Yeah, well, you're talking to
Are you?
yeah,
Are you one of those? Oh.
basically.
Really? Oh my gosh.
No, here in the States, just Cali and here because I grew up in Mexico, you know. So
Oh, yeah.
I didn't grow up here in Reno, but
Hey, at least you've been to hella parts in Mexico, so.
yeah,
You-
that is
Yeah,
we
I
can
have
get away
never
with
been
that.
out of the country, so I mean that's eventually a goal of
maybe
mine.
maybe
But
there's like a bunch of weddings. People here that get married like in Puerto Vallarta or like the
Like the
beach
Yeah.
side, you know.
cities.
I actually
Those are
have
cool.
a client who I did her engagement photos, and she's getting married down in Mexico, and she's like, the resort already provides the photographer. She's like, please
Oh,
don't hate me, and I'm
no.
like,
Oh.
Hey,
I'm
but
like, it's okay.
You know, it's funny you say
could-
that because I know that's a thing because some people have like mentioned to me going to Mexico for a thing, but then apparently a lot of the resorts you can't bring in a photographer because they have one.
Yeah, that's
so it's like if you get the resort, you get the photographer. I'm like, that's kind of shitty because like, what if you don't like?
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like
stuff?
No offense to them, but I feel like a lot of those photographers are those super old school like. They're just gonna give you the raw photo almost, not even like give you
the
an
ones
edit.
that just crank up the saturation.
Yeah.
Of it.
Growing up in Mexico, it was a struggle to find a good photographer, honestly.
Yeah.
So you don't see, it's not as big as it is here.
It's kind of wild how like you can actually charge like a lot of money down there because there's not many people. The last time I went to Mexico, this was when I was already doing photography, and one of my cousins who lives like in Mexicali, so like super northern California or northern Mexico, he was like, so how much do you like charge for a shoot, to trying to compare it to the dollar peso value?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And obviously like I think the dollar value right now is like 22 pesos or something, so like if you charge $200, that's like almost 3k pesos, I think.
Damn.
And I was like, yeah, like around there, and he's like, dude, that's hella cheap. He's like, here people charge like, you know, like for one session they charge you like 8,000-9,000 pesos. I was like, that's like $800.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's kind of. I'm like, I need to move, dude.
Yeah, what? I'm like, I just upped my prices this year, and I was like, I don't think I'm worth that much money. Like,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I hired a business coach last year, and like she asked me how much I wanted to make this year, and so I told her. And she even thought that was like a low amount. She's like, wait, really? That's how much you want to make? And I'm like, yeah, let's just start somewhere obtainable.
Yeah.
And so we like broke it into weddings and shoots and all that fun stuff. But like my highest package is $425, but I'm like, I don't know, for an hour and a half, I'm like, should I really be charging that?
And then you're like, oh,
yeah,
wow,
I'm like, wow.
That's wild.
People actually, I've had people book it, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'm doing something right here.
That's cool.
Well, you, like, when you raised up your prices a bit, were you surprised how much people were still coming to you?
Yeah, I'm still surprised because I didn't raise them that much. I don't charge a lot. But I was still like, oh, what if they stop booking
It's
me,
always scary at first.
But
then
really
it hasn't made a difference. Like, not a single person has been like, oh, that's too much for me.
I think once you, like, secure your clientele, those are the same people that, like, if you raise your pricing, they've been coming to you so long that they're like, yeah, that's fine.
They're like, yeah.
But then, you know, there's obviously new ones who might be like, oh, that's a bit high, but then they're kind of like, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then if they like the experience or whatever, they're just like, this is fine, like, whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm trying to focus on this year is just more providing experience and value. So yes, I am charging $425, but what are people getting with that $425? So like everybody's been like picking a word for the year, you know? So for my business side of things, I picked client experience. So like literally that's my only focus is I really want to focus on client experience.
It's just providing like the best experience for the package.
Yeah.
Which is good. I feel like that's how you have to do it.
It's always important, you know?
Yeah.
But when did you start?
So I don't know, I guess, so I went full-time in March of 2020.
Right.
So, but I had done photography before that, actually even under a different name. So it was McKennaPaynePhoto.
I remember that.
And yep, I had a T2i, I had the 50 1.8, and I don't even think I had like any business doing photography. Like I was actually probably doing a lot of things wrong, and I've spoken out about this, and I did some like shady stuff and like took deposits from people that I probably shouldn't have.
Oh wow.
And the camera that I had wasn't mine. It was like gifted to me to use to basically become a photographer.
Right.
And so it was actually my ex's, and we broke up. Well, the camera's no longer mine.
Oh, I see.
And then I had taken all these deposits and things, and so it just kind of like blew up in my face. And then I had some medical stuff, so I kind of like just stopped doing photography altogether. And that was about like 2 years ago, I would say. And then March of 2020, I got a new camera, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. Literally, I got my camera a week later.
How much time did pass from when you stopped to when you picked it up again?
I want to say I stopped in like July or probably June of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to say like middle of the summer.
And then you picked it up again.
Yep. And then I just picked it up again right when I got my camera because I got a Canon 6D Mark II back in March of 2020.
I used to have it too.
Yeah, and I had the but I bought the 50 1.8 because I was like, I've used this lens before. I know it works great. And I just like went for it. I literally hired a business coach during quarantine and we Zoom chatted and I just basically like watched videos and photographed my dog. And please don't hate me, people, but we had small parties at our house and I would literally like photograph the people at my party.
Yeah, we're gonna come
I know they're gonna come at me. I'm so sorry.
They're gonna be like, you're hosting mini parties during
COVID? We were one of those people.
There's this one guy that came at me or at us, I guess.
Yeah.
And he just said something dumb, but
dude, I mean, like, I'm so sorry, but I'm one of those kids that encouraged it, unfortunately. I mean, now I'm like,
they're really gonna come.
I sit at home now and I'm like, I don't want to leave my house. I like did a 180, but I would just like shoot like my friends and stuff, and finally quarantine like kind of started to lift, and so I asked my business coach, I was like, what do I do? And so I would wear a mask and I would ask my couple, I'm like, are you okay with like me going to shoot you? And so I'd go and do free shoots. And
you decided to go full time, but you were still doing free stuff? Yeah,
I was literally like, I kind of got lucky, and a lot of people will probably hate me for this too, but everybody's gonna hate right? Everybody's gonna hate me.
Everybody's gonna come at you.
This will just be roast hour on McKenna instead of you guys. We'll just take the pressure off you. So right before quarantine happened, I had actually I started going back to work for a bar that I had worked at before, and I'd worked there literally a week, and then COVID happened. So I was actually able to claim unemployment benefits.
Oh, okay.
Because quarantine had closed.
Right.
But what I had done is every single time I had gotten a payment, it went towards business coaching, or it went to a new website, or like I invested that money into my business so that way I could go full time, because if I didn't have that, like I definitely wouldn't have been here. That's for sure. So I'm like way thankful for the quarantine and COVID, and like even just that 1 week of working at the bar.
That's the thing, like you can make it work. Like you can't blame yourself, you know. If the system allows it, then why not?
Yeah,
just take advantage of it.
All I'm saying is if the US has money to pay unemployment, then take it. You know what I mean? Dude. Not everyone qualified for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, take advantage of that shit. They have money. Like,
yeah. Well, I had a lot of people get really upset with me because they're like, you only worked at the bar for a week, and I was like, dude, I know.
So they were coming
sorry.
at you because they're like, you don't deserve it. You've been here a week.
Yeah. And so I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, maybe I probably shouldn't have done it, but you know, like, I'm super thankful for it because I was really able to invest in myself and my business, and I totally wouldn't be where I am today without it. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, people get mad, but like, I don't know.
You gotta find a way.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You took it in a way that
it's not like you were using that money for dumb stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there was people who were getting, you know how at first unemployment was getting so much money.
Oh my gosh,
I saw people using it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy like an 80-inch TV and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and it's like, okay, did you really need all that, or is it just because you have extra money in your pocket now?
Well, and that's the other thing too. Is okay. So I was a bartender. All right. So if you think about it, as a bartender, I only made like $8 an hour. Okay, so then when you go and put that into like the unemployment money, you only get like a quarter of that. So I was only getting like $200 a week. So all these other people were getting like 1,000. Yeah. I was still really technically only getting
There's people who got like 600 plus in Nevada or whatever, and
that was crazy.
Yeah. There was people making more money off unemployment than people who were employed, bro.
See?
Yes, and that's why like a lot of people didn't want to go back to work. But
yeah,
exactly.
But I mean, it's just like, hey,
you had the right mentality. Like,
yeah, at least you put it towards something that benefited you.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just wasting the money and stuff.
I told myself too, like I was gonna do photography and this business different than the first time around. Like, I really wanted to focus on client experience and like really just being more positive than the first time around and really knowing what I was doing versus just kind of going out there and saying I was a wedding photographer.
Right.
Because I definitely wasn't back then.
Now, how were you able to, well, you said you did like free stuff for people and stuff, but like how was the year in general for you? Were you able to stay busy? How much were you shooting?
Yeah. I was shooting a lot. I took on a lot of stuff that I didn't necessarily want to do. Like, I don't want to say I hate doing family photo shoots, but I feel like I can't connect as much as I do with like couples or individuals.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people.
Yeah, you know, and no offense, I don't necessarily know if I want kids yet, or at least not for like a hot minute. And I have siblings and everything, but again, other people's kids, I'm like, I don't know anything about your kids, so I feel like I can't send your kid a questionnaire and be like, so what kind of Legos do you like, bud? Like, you know, I can't do that.
Hard.
So
no, I feel like family, especially when it's a lot of people, it can be kind of intimidating too, because there's so many people to like deal with, in a sense. Like, everyone's different, so the way you might approach like one of them, some others will be like, what the hell, like, why are you like that, or why are you talking like this?
Or then I have parents that come up to me and they're like, okay, you gotta tell my kid to do this or tell my kid to do that, and I was like, whoa, I don't want to discipline your kid. Like, I don't want to look like a bad guy.
Like we talked about that too, where like the parents expect us to like run their kids, and it's like
sometimes they make you feel like the bad guy, you know? They're like, oh, if you don't do this,
he's gonna get
mad.
And I'm like, no, I'm not.
I'm like, no.
It's like, I'm not gonna get mad.
It's the same thing with dogs too. Like, people always want to bring their dogs, and then they like get upset with their dogs. I'm like, yo, he's a dog. Like, let him run and sniff and pee on shit. Like, I don't know, he's a dog, man. Like,
I've always like done this thing where if someone has a small kid who's just not having it, I'm like, we can always come back. Like, if it's something that I can refit, I'm like, kids are just not in the mood sometimes. And that's okay. Like, that's okay.
I have woken up from a bad nap before, man.
Like if you have kids that are like 8 and up and they're just being brats, and that's on you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Because I've been there too many times where people have kids that are old enough to know what's going on. But they just, I don't know. Their parents don't say anything, and I'm like, I can't lecture your kid, bro. It's your kid. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, pay attention. Like, no, because then they're gonna be like, what the hell are you doing? That's my child.
I also don't think I could ever really like yell at a kid like that in general. So
the only kids I've ever yelled at was like my brother.
You're not gonna say thank you, bro?
What'd you do?
I fucking fixed you up, man.
Oh my
God. I just saw some like
he was complaining the other day because
he chose the worst screen grab of all of them.
You know,
I'm sure there was so many to choose from, and you chose that
there
one. I was
wasn't.
like, really, bro?
Did you have
so
like?
Well, thank
I'm
you.
looking out for you.
Thank you for.
Was
dapping
it like
me up.
alfalfa?
No, it was like.
that's kind of what it was.
It was like this.
Oh,
not
you
that
had
one,
like the emo stitch.
Right now he added like this.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. My hair's wild sometimes. I was laying down earlier, bro. Let me be. I was watching Breaking Bad, man. I was just laying down in bed.
I've never seen that show.
Oh my god.
I tried really hard to watch it, and I just.
If you say you didn't get into it, I'm kicking you out.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I
podcast,
couldn't. I only watched to like episode 3 though. Like, everybody said I need to watch the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The first 3 are like,
Okay, see, then I just should have.
But you have to get past it. In my opinion, once you get past episode 6 of season 1, it gets really good, and then it just keeps getting good.
But here's my thing about like shows that seem realistic like that. I just got done watching Bird Notice because I haven't watched that before.
Bird Notice?
Yeah, it's about like international spies or something.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Okay, you gotta watch it. It's pretty good. But one of the girlfriends like likes to blow shit up. Okay, and so we got this smart vacuum in our house, and it like goes off at 1 a.m.
So you're like tripping?
Bro, it started beeping one time, and I like woke up in the middle of the night and heard it, and I've never gotten out of the covers so fast because I thought someone was blowing up our house. So now I feel like I can't watch that show because I'm gonna be like, oh, the meth heads are coming to get us.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they make the meth heads look pretty creepy in the show.
See?
But it's just like, you don't really think about it.
Oh man.
You know what I used to think, and it wasn't good, is I'm like, I should make fucking meth.
Oh my god, that's not something you should think.
Like, when you watch that show, you're like, I should make meth, bro. You see how much money dude's making, and you're like, holy crap. But then you're like, nah, bro, you can't go into it.
It's not worth it.
This was me back in like high school when I first watched it. Leave me alone. All right, I don't think that anymore. Now I just appreciate the show for what it is.
Sure. So whenever he's off doing some weird stuff, that's probably.
Hey, don't
He
snitch
will
on
be
me,
one
bro.
of those first ones that get caught.
I can't even get away with it.
You just snitched on yourself, like just on air, man.
People are gonna start investigating me. Hey, investigate this, bro.
I know.
He's been watching
Feds
Breaking
coming
Bad
to
too
your
many
house?
times. No, this was legit when like in 2009, 2010, where I'm like, when you're like in high school and you're over high school and you're like, screw this, bro, I should just go make meth. They had memes like that back then too.
They did. That's the worst part.
You're like watching Breaking Bad, be like, and it's him tossing the papers. F this, I'm making meth. But it's like, I'm not gonna really go out and do that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, nah. But it's a great show. I think I met one person once that was like, I didn't like it, and I was like, why? You have horrible taste. Like, I'm sorry.
I mean, I probably do. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I get it. Not everyone's gonna love the show, but I feel like 95% of the people I've ever spoken to are like, that's like probably the best show I've ever seen. And I'm
I've heard
good.
that.
I love it.
I've definitely heard that.
I'll probably rewatch it again too.
I just finished watching it for the 10th time. Have you seen the movie, The El Camino?
Oh my goodness.
The follow-up?
Oh, that El Camino?
There's a movie?
There's a movie called El Camino, which is what happens.
Oh, no,
after
I think I
Breaking Bad.
did. I don't know.
It focuses on just Jesse.
Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, yeah.
really good.
It wasn't as good, though. But anyway.
It was good, but not as good as the whole show because it's a movie. You
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't.
it's like shortened.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna?
See, I like can't do movies lately for some odd
Really?
reason. I've been on like a TV show kick where I just like binge watch. Like,
Right. So, okay, let's get back to photography. So,
sorry.
no, but it's kind of related. It's kind of related.
Okay,
Alright, let's hear it.
So,
Let's hear it.
you do
Okay.
it full time,
Yes.
right? So, what do you do in your free time? Like, how do you spend most of your days?
She just said it.
Oh
She
my
binge
goodness.
watches TV
Yeah, I
shows.
binge watch.
Is that what you do? I don't think so.
No, I pretty much like I try not to leave my house if I don't have to. Like I will try and plan all my shit in like one day. So if I have to come to Reno or anything, it's like all at once. But like if I'm at home, I'm usually like annoying our dog. We have a 12-year-old golden.
Right on.
So I will like he'll be laying on the floor and I'll just literally like pounce on top of him almost like a lion while he's sleeping. And I'll
And
just
he's
like
12 years old?
Yes.
Poor thing.
I know,
Wow.
he probably has a heart attack. I probably shouldn't
Probably
do that.
hates you.
They're really gonna hate her, bro. They're like, you're
No.
an animal abuser?
Gosh, I know.
Dude, I know, yeah, seriously.
You're like, why do you bother your poor 12-year-old
hey,
dog?
Stop!
What did we bring today, bro?
Yeah, I'm like, we
who
might
is
have to
she?
cut this short. Ayo, sorry, got
No, but like yeah, I'll take breaks with him and just like he loves his ball, so like anytime we even like go out to the lake and stuff, like he's that type of dog that will like drown himself.
He just jumps
He'll
in.
just keep going after the ball. It's ridiculous. But I love watching Friends and Grey's Anatomy, so I'll just like sit and rewatch those and like edit and just do like back end stuff on my computer.
Do you feel more comfortable editing with background noise?
Yes.
Okay, same.
So
Do you do that? Or do you just have it like pitch quiet?
Let me see.
Like I feel like if I'm
Pitch
editing,
quiet.
if I'm
Really?
editing
Yes.
at home, I have to have something in the background like playing, even if I'm
Yeah.
not paying attention. Cause like even when I've gone to like coffee shops, you can listen to music,
Yes.
but it's still not the same. Like it's relaxing and all, but I can't edit without like nothing to hear in the background.
Yeah, I need
That's a
something.
good question. I feel like most of the time I'm just pitch quiet.
You're weird.
I feel like I have my phone.
You're hella weird.
Do you guys
So
edit
weird.
with your phone like right next to you? Or do you
I
have
mean,
to put
yeah.
it away?
I mean, like
But I try not to touch it.
I put mine on Do Not Disturb usually, but what lately I've been doing is so like I have a styled shoot company with Jackie Wild Honey Photo. She just moved here back in January of 2020. But we usually will just like FaceTime each other and then we'll be like working on our own stuff. So she'll be working and I'll be working, but it's almost like motivation, like
Kind of like
shit.
you're
She's
editing with somebody.
Yeah,
but
she's typing faster than me.
yeah.
Like I should be like
Right.
I don't know. But then it's also nice because if we have questions or if like we forgot to bring something up in like a meeting that we had later that week, we're just like right there.
Right.
So usually like I like that kind of background noise a little bit more because I feel like if I put TV on, I'll hella get distracted and start watching the TV. And then I like to dance. So if I put music on, I'll just like get up and start dancing. So
But I feel like, yeah, that happens sometimes where, like, you have something in the back and you're like, wait, this is actually kind of dope. Especially if it's some random thing you put on and then all of a sudden it gets interesting and you're like,
well, I guess sometimes
the laptop a little bit.
I play like a YouTube video on the side, like just like listening form.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be too. It has to be like the right amount of noise. It can be too much.
Yeah.
You know
See,
what I mean?
I can't do the podcast thing while editing.
Oh, really?
Like
Me neither.
while people are like my podcast time is usually in the car, which is nice because now I've got 30 minutes, so I pretty much can do the podcast.
Yeah.
But if I'm editing, I can't do the podcast. I almost need like the noise, but I'm not fully paying attention. Whereas I want to pay attention to the podcast.
It's weird how that works, huh?
Yeah.
With video, you can't listen to anything else.
because you have to pay so much attention to everything.
To every little detail.
Yeah.
Especially the music, because you have to time everything.
Yeah, like you can't be listening to the music in the video and then trying to listen to everything else. Like you're gonna get thrown off.
Yeah, your brain is just gonna.
I don't know
that would
about
give me
that
anxiety. I would love to do video someday, but that gives me anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. Just
now
a
you said
smidge.
you don't necessarily like doing family photos. What's the one thing you like to do the most?
Well, I definitely like couples just because of the emotion between two people. I'm like a huge like wear my heart on the sleeve, hopeless romantic. I like rom-coms.
How do you?
I like rom-coms.
I mean, it looks like you have a good connection with your clients. Mm-hmm. Do you have any tips for people? Like, what's something that people can do to like connect better with people?
I would just say going out of your way to get to know them. Like anytime clients book with me, like I send out questionnaires. So say they're doing their engagement session with me, like I want to know all the details from when they started dating to when they proposed to what their love languages are they introverted, are they extroverted, do they put pineapple on their pizza, what kind of beer do they like?
Those are important questions, man.
Like literally those are all the type of questions I like to ask. And even also being active on their social media accounts and just really taking part in their life, because that's like special to people when you actually care. So I just really try and focus on talking with people and creating those connections. I also try and be really transparent about like who I am. So I talk about Grey's Anatomy and my dog Nemo and
that's his name?
Yeah,
Nemo?
his name's Nemo.
That's funny.
That's a cool name.
He's my boyfriend's dog, and I tell him all the time that he should have named him Thumper, because like anytime he lays down, dude, and you pet him, that dog sounds like he could break concrete almost. Like
Really?
his tail gets so excited, like it's intense. But he loves to swim, so I'm like Nemo's fitting.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that name. And what are some of the locations that you go to the most?
Oh gosh.
Because you're very like
I feel like
being
I'm
out
kind
there
of,
in the field, right? Like that sort of style.
I feel like I'm kind of all over. I'm trying really, really hard to transition into like mainly Western photography. So I really want to shoot at a lot of ranches and do those kind of like rustic field, deserty type shoots.
Right.
So like I really like shooting at Washoe Lake. I go to the Verde Fields a lot, Tahoe Meadows. I mean, pretty much all over South Lake Tahoe, there's a lot of like open fields.
Yeah.
Ironically, this is kind of funny. So my business coach, Hannah Martini, shout out, her and her man hunt. And so there's this app called the, oh gosh, it's like the Hunt on X or something like that. But it shows you all of the private and public lands for hunting.
Oh, wow.
But it's the same as photography. So like if you go up into like Truckee or whatever, I could pull up the app and see if like this random field that I'm next to is public or private. And if it's public, then I'm like, cool, let's shoot here.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it's kind of like a little cheat sheet that I've used. You have to pay for the app, but it's totally
worth it though.
It's worth it, yeah, because sometimes you're like, what if I get in here?
Yeah,
and then somebody
there's
comes
been
out?
times when like I go to the Verde Fields and my clients are like, can we be here? I'm like, they're public.
Totally.
Like, oh.
I've had clients do that.
They freak out. They're just like, because you know how there's a little gate.
There's that gate and then that little like old shed almost.
Yeah, and they're just like, hey, can we be here?
Well,
And I'm
you
like,
gotta find
they're
that one.
public lands, don't worry.
Yeah, it's okay. We can
Yeah,
be
they're like,
here.
oh, we didn't know. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't bring you here if it was private.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it helps now that there's like that field is pretty known and almost like if you're there on a weekend, there's going to be at least like 3 or 4 other photographers
A lot of people
there.
have gone there. Yeah.
It's
a
getting
lot
pretty
of-
popular.
Yeah.
It's a crowded market right now, you know.
Yes.
A lot of people getting into it.
Just in general, yeah, there's a lot of I saw someone who was, I think it was Michael, MC Warner, shout out to him. He went on Twitter and he made this tweet that was so accurate.
Oh,
He's
I
like,
know which one you're
I feel
talking
like
about.
1 in every 4 people have a photo gig now or something like
Dude.
that. And I'm like, yeah, dude, everybody's doing it. Whether it's like
But it's fine.
for
Yeah.
no, I'm not
Who
saying there's
cares,
anything
though?
wrong with it. It's just like it's true compared to like years back.
Yeah.
Reno's kind of become like a very photo
Community.
based community,
That's the
which is
one-
tight. I mean, because it's small, so you kind of get to know everybody too.
Yeah.
Like I like
It
that.
truly is the biggest little city. Like our name really fits
Yeah.
our
I know,
city
right?
because
Especially now.
it is decently big, but you pretty much someone always knows someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I think at least like 3 of my clients that have become photographers. Like Mandy Zamora was one of my clients.
Oh, really?
And we did like a really
she's
cool
cool.
photo shoot last year.
She's coming in here.
And yeah, and now she's a photographer and she's kicking
she's
ass.
good. Yes.
Yeah, she's kicking ass at it. So, and she actually shot me and my boyfriend out in Fernley, so that was really cool.
Oh, nice.
So, I actually like welcome it. Like I think it's really really cool. Like of course, it worries me like a smidge because I'm like, oh shoot, like what if they take my wedding clients? But so can all of these other photographers in this area. So it's like I would just much rather they come to me and ask questions and versus like think that I'm major competition.
There's this,
Yeah.
there's this guy that asked me, like, what do I do? Like, I haven't been getting that many clients, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like, I don't even know what happened with me. Like,
Yeah,
I don't have
one
an
day just
answer.
kind of.
I don't really have an explanation, you know?
Yeah.
It just kind of happened.
You know
and
how I posted that giveaway on Twitter and Instagram?
a lot of people getting
So
into
the
it.
Instagram is just ridiculous right now, and it probably will keep going.
So you gotta do things like that.
I've never done an Instagram giveaway like ever.
Really? So I
They're the
met you
best.
through Twitter. That's
Yeah,
how
those
we
are the
Oh,
ones I
really?
used to do.
Yeah, and I actually like have gotten 2 or 3 bookings off Twitter, which a lot of people think it's so weird that I have a Twitter, but I'm like, hey man, I've gotten a
works.
couple bookings off there.
I mean,
so.
to be honest, when it started taking off for me was because of that.
Yeah.
And because that one year I was doing those like at least twice a month, I think,
Mm-hmm.
whether it was like prints or shoots, and it got me just out there a lot. And then people went towards my Instagram because I don't post much photography on my Twitter.
Yeah.
I kind of like it to be my own space and just like tweet whatever I want or
I mean,
whatever.
if you're getting bookings, like, even
yeah.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people still, even though I don't post much about it, they still go book me through there, which
Yeah.
is fine. But a lot have transferred to Instagram. Because, like, before my Instagram kind of grew into, like, clients, Twitter was my main, like, social media thing to get
Yeah.
stuff. And then people found my Instagram and they're like, oh, never mind, I'm just going to do it there or whatever. But I had somebody ask me how I get my giveaways to blow up. And I'm like, I don't know. I just post it, and if
yeah.
it does well, it does well. I don't know. But then I just feel like I've been doing those for so long that people kind of know. And so
Yeah.
they're like, oh, yeah, I want to keep entering or
Have you
whatever.
ever done
but-
any?
Yeah, I think the big thing with giveaways is making sure people are like sharing them to their stories or sharing them to
Yeah.
other like social media platforms and like making that like part of the giveaway of like what they have to do.
Yeah.
Because then if they're sharing it to their stories and they're tagging you, like 4 people could see that story and they're like, oh shoot, I want to do this giveaway. So
And
then
they do
they're
it
gonna
and
do
then
it
do
and
it,
then they're
yeah.
gonna share it. So it's just like the power of word of mouth. So
Honestly, I
that's,
feel like maybe back in the day when you started, Twitter was the better option.
yeah.
And
But right
Instagram's
now,
becoming
I
that
feel
now.
like
Yeah.
Instagram is just
They have
better.
the tools for it now, like with the whole like post on your story and tag and, you know, comment a person on the post or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of what's happening now. Like, I think there's like 900 something comments. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's insane. I don't know if I've had like that much participation
I'm like,
for
oh
my
my God,
giveaways.
bro, this is gonna take a while to go through all these.
But wait, how you gonna do it? Like,
Well,
Yeah,
see
you're gonna get like a little generator.
yeah, well, I have like a random like selector.
You
I'm
know
not
what
gonna
you
just
do?
pick someone at random
so
myself.
my friend, he runs giveaways for like Video Nation, right? So he just picks a number from 1 to like however many comments
And
you
then
have.
does he count?
And then you count the comments.
Damn.
I don't know if that's like
Wait,
too much
what
of
do you mean?
I
too
feel
much
like that's
work.
so much work.
Maybe, huh? Because
Like,
if you
what
get
if,
like
like-
900 something, right?
Yeah, and what if you
See,
pick
the-
like
the
92?
way-
You gotta sit there and
The
count
way
all the
that
way
I
down.
was,
That is true. I
I
didn't
started
think about
researching it today, and there's one where you link obviously your Instagram account to the website,
Yeah.
and then you select the post. So then what it
that'd be
does is
easy.
just scans through every single comment, and then I'm doing 2 winners, so it would just pick 2 names of everybody who commented.
Oh, well, that's nice.
But then I don't know if I should do that because people posted it on their story and tagged me. That's an
That is
extra
true.
entry
Oh,
also.
yeah.
So my limit was you can comment 5 names, so you can get your name 5 times, right?
Yeah. People
And
didn't
some
do
people
that.
just did it like 15 times, and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's cool, but you only
You only
count
get
5 of
5.
those. And then they went on their story and posted it and like tagged me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, you get 6 entries.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of researching it, but I think my best way is gonna be to like find the comments by name and then see how many they did, and then put
and like tally it or something.
like put their name by that many, and then just have the thing like randomly pick a name, because at that point there's so many that it's like, I don't know.
How do you? Keep
I didn't
track
think it
of
was
that?
gonna. I didn't
It's
think
a
it
lot
was
of
gonna blow up like it did. So
What do you
like,
mean?
crap.
Your work's so good. Come
No,
on.
well, thank you, but it's like I just never done one on Instagram. So you know when you don't do
Yeah.
anything on one platform for like ever,
And you
you're
don't
just like, well,
expect-
let's see how it goes. I thought I would get maybe like 100, 120 comments, not freaking 900 something. So I'm like, oh
Oh,
well.
you go crazy,
I mean,
man.
it's great. I appreciate everybody like jumping in on it and stuff. But now I got to figure out how I'm gonna do it. I'm announcing the winners on Thursday.
I have anxiety just thinking about that for you.
I know, right?
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
want
gonna
to do
take
that.
a while.
That's the one thing I tell people, you know, they work.
They
and
do.
It's easy. It's
Yeah.
a lot of work. You gotta, you know,
It
go through
is.
all of that and then do the shoot. But it'll help you.
But
like,
if you're wanting like a little bit of exposure without like not necessarily doing a whole lot of work, like that's a giveaway is definitely a good way to do it, because then
yeah.
you have people that are sharing.
Well, and then you get
sharing
a
your
ton
page.
of people who like follow you too. So then now they're exposed to your stuff.
When I did
Yeah.
mine, people were finding out about me, and then they would book me right away. Like they wouldn't
Yeah.
even wait.
I've
for
had
the
a few
giveaway, you
people
know?
who in the past couple hours who like followed me because of the giveaway, but they messaged me separately and they're like, hey, like if I don't win, can I still book you for something? And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, of course.
I've
Yeah.
even like done options where like I think I had a giveaway and I had like 35 people comment, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick one winner, but the rest of you guys can get 20% off a package.
Oh,
like
that's
thanks for entering my giveaway.
That's pretty
You know,
cool.
like just be like, oh, you didn't win, but you know what, like you can still get something special
Yeah.
just because you participated.
See, the way I've done those is like, hey, if you didn't win, I'm gonna host like this special in like a week, so keep an eye out
Yeah.
for it. And then people are
I
like,
mean,
cool.
just anything like that is really nice.
it's
like-
just marketing.
Yeah, I was
really.
gonna say basic marketing. You
It's
know,
super.
just
It's seriously
it's
like
taking care of the
like
client.
first like
just being
it's literally like marketing
Yeah.
101.
You know?
Like you go to college for marketing, and that's literally what they teach you is something like that. Where they're
Yeah,
just
because
like, do this.
sometimes
And
the
do
people
that.
that ask, I'm like, dude, you haven't posted anything in a long time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
I just
like,
don't think people will realize how
Powerful it
far like social media can take you in a business.
Yeah.
Not just with photos, but literally anything.
It does scare me though, like how powerful social media is though. I mean, because if you think about it, with all this crazy stuff going on in the world, like what happens if like TikTok was banned in the
Or,
US?
like, if Instagram
what
just shut
happens
down?
if Instagram gets shut down? Like that's where a lot of my like, of course I have a website and of course I have Twitter and stuff like that, but that's where 90% of my work is shown.
Yeah.
And
I've
like,
thought about that too, because it's like
I feel like if that happened, like something else would.
well, yeah, we would
Yeah.
find a way, but it would definitely be like I would probably have a
big
hot
hit.
panic.
Well, a
for
lot of
minute.
people made their careers through Instagram.
Instagram.
You know, like
Which is wild.
people who are
Yeah.
just huge on the platform, that's their livelihood is Instagram, doing like sponsored posts or whatever. So
Seriously.
it's like it's kind of wild that Instagram has gotten to that point of like, how would it affect like you aside from like a personal level but a financial level? And that's what I've thought about,
Yeah.
because I'm like, dude, that's where I get all my clients. So like if I didn't have an Instagram, would I still be able to be full-time? Like would I still have clientele?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Let's not think about that though.
I know,
IG ain't
right?
going
I know.
nowhere.
I'm like, oh shit, it's stressing me
Instagram
out.
ain't going nowhere.
It's
I
fine,
know.
everything's
I
fine.
don't think that'll happen.
Nah, I
You guys
doubt
are
it.
not drinking today?
Nah.
You guys leave me alone.
You,
Look, man,
you make me
I don't.
Which is fine.
I
No, you don't have to.
don't. You peer pressure.
You peer
I feel
pressure
bad.
me.
I feel bad now.
I'm like one of those people that's like, okay, I guess, twist my arm.
Right.
I
I tell
just
you
don't-
once, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess so.
I don't
I
like
guess.
to. I don't like to drink when I'm very hungry, because then I get really drunk really
Are you
fast.
very hungry right now?
I'm really hungry. I haven't
What
eaten
did
since
you
Why
say?
didn't you eat
2.
dinner?
Well, see, there was one of those things where I thought I got hungry around 5, and I'm like, it's a little late to like try to make something and then eat properly. So I'm just gonna go get food
What's wrong
after.
with this guy?
In and out.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
think
really
that's
good.
probably where I'm gonna go.
That might be
I
the
eat there
move.
like
I thought you were doing keto.
Oh yeah, well, I can just have it without the bun.
Yeah, right. Of course, this. Yeah,
No,
whatever. Whatever,
protein
dude.
I'm thinking of getting. I'm
Whatever,
thinking of
dude.
getting chicken wings. Are you gonna say
Chicken
something
wings.
about that? Because chicken wings is just chicken, bro.
Well,
say
you-
something dumb.
Oh, I'm going to.
Say
If you
something
give me
dumb.
some time. Are you gonna shut up now? Yes. All right. So you're doing keto and then you're having chicken wings. Are you
It's
kidding me, bro? Chicken wings.
yeah, but chicken wings.
Chicken wings.
Like those are fried. That can't be
Nah,
good for you.
it's not as bad as you think.
Are
I've
you
researched. As long as you don't get
Bruh.
barbecue ones, and I don't eat barbecue
like
chicken
buffalo.
wings.
You're
Buffalo
tripping,
wings.
Um,
Let's go to the gym.
buffalo buffalo sauce isn't that bad for you, to be honest.
I know. So is that what kind you're getting?
Well, lemon pepper
Lemon pepper is good.
and Cajun, I'd probably be my choice if we're going to Wingstop.
Oh yeah, I like the what's the Louisiana?
Louisiana rub.
That one's good from Wingstop.
Yeah, I usually get lemon pepper and Cajun. I used to get barbecue and original hot. That was like my order for years. And then I finally tried lemon pepper like 2 years ago, and I was like,
It's
dude, I've been
bomb.
sleeping on it.
It's so good.
I used to always get the garlic parmesan too. I
That
think
one's
those are
really
good.
But you can. I feel like you can't mess up a garlic parmesan wing.
No.
Okay,
If
but
you
have
do,
you
it's like,
have you been to Wingfest? Like when it was happening?
oh yeah, yeah,
okay.
of course.
Did you ever try the peanut butter and jelly wings?
No.
Okay. Next time they have a wing fest, I
knows
swear
when?
to God, you have to. They're
Have you
so
guys
bomb.
tried that little? There's a
The
little
taco shop?
No. There's
Oh.
a little food truck here that just does chicken wings. I can't remember the name of it, but I went to it once and their wings were
Oh.
really good. They're known for having like
I know what you're
a
talking
Mexican
about.
jalapeno sauced wing or something
And
like
it's got
that.
pineapple in it, I think.
Yeah. You know
I
which
know
one?
what you're talking
yeah,
about.
I can't
It's
remember the
so
name of the
good.
truck, but that place is really good for chicken wings too. It's just you gotta when they're out. So to answer your hating ass, yes, I'm gonna go get chicken wings and I can eat chicken, bro.
Whatever, dude.
Do you not season your chicken when you eat it?
Yeah, but
Then?
you never know how they make it. That's the one thing, you know.
Anyways, we're gonna change conversation because Chava's always trying to say something dumb about me trying to be on a keto diet. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with me not eating
You
pasta?
started working out, right?
I did. I was gonna say my friend Jackie is really trying to push veganism on me, man.
Oh, really?
So it's okay. I feel it.
You
But
don't
see,
seem
I don't.
like the type
I
that
don't
would
go
do
and
it,
tell
though.
him to eat that way. I'm just like, I just don't eat a lot of bread anymore because bread is fattening. I'm
But then
sorry.
that's not.
I like bread.
What is it?
If you eat a lot of bread,
If you eat a lot of
If you eat a
bread,
lot
like
of
it's
it.
yeah, exactly,
It's, like,
dude. I
not
was
good
eating
for
bread
you.
like damn near every day before.
See,
yeah.
and like
I can't even believe we're
You're
talking
such
about
a
this.
hater, bro.
This is for creators by creators.
yeah, we're talking
But
about
we're talking
bread.
about diets, but it's fine. I'll handle you. Hold on, just give me just a sec. Dude, I preach for balance, you know, and I just
Yes.
don't like. Oh, I'm gonna do keto. I'm not gonna.
Well,
eat.
do you think I don't eat bread like anymore at all?
No, you do, because I saw you eating
Exactly.
fucking rice and
Exactly.
beans.
So
on the
do you
way.
think I just don't eat any of that food anymore at all?
Yes.
But then you're not doing
You
keto.
preach.
Though.
You preach.
You're not doing keto.
No.
That's not keto.
No. You're not listening to me.
It's
Oh my
it's
God.
Like, you're
So
like
anyways,
it's like
let's
a
just
half-assed
let's
keto.
just call it that.
moving on.
Let's just call it that. I'm reducing my intake of certain foods. Okay. I
Well,
won't say
that's better.
keto anymore.
Yeah. That's
Are you
better.
happy?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I am actually.
I'm
happy
reducing
now.
my carbs. Is that better?
That's great, dude.
Okay.
I love that.
You fucking hater,
There you
dude.
go.
He comes on this podcast just to hate. I swear.
This is the only chance I get.
He's
basically,
got to let it out somewhere.
Every week he's
He
like,
works
I'm gonna.
so much.
Every week he's like, I'm gonna find something to say about Nando during the podcast. Watch. I hate
Well, you
this
started
guy.
working out, that right? How's that
I mean,
going?
kinda. I
Just like at home and stuff.
Yeah. So I've been doing. So last year I hired a business coach. This year I hired a life coach. And so I told my life coach, I was like, all I want is to get healthy. I never said I wanted to like eat better, but I said I want to get healthy and I want a butt. So she gave me a challenge to do 300 squats a week. So I did that for 2 weeks, where I did like 50 a day. And then she upped it. So now I have to do 100 a day for 5 days for 2 weeks.
There you go.
So basically 500 a week.
That's nice. Something.
So I mean, I'm trying. And then like I invested in like Arbonne. And so I've been doing like the protein shakes and
nice.
Taking all that fun like prebiotic and probiotic.
Sometimes I wish... I try to stay pretty healthy, but sometimes I wish I had more time. Yeah. So I'm sure it's nice to just have your day to plan it out, you know?
Okay, but it's still not even... I still don't even do that. Like, I would love to say that I'm a super great, like, meal prepper. And, like, when I wake up in the morning, I should just go straight to a shake. I'm like, no, let's go get Starbucks. And then I'm going to have some Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It's one of those things where, like, sometimes... I kind of miss having like that work schedule, because then you get used to like, oh, I'm gonna go to work and then right after I'm gonna do this. When you're not, it's easy to just not do it. Yeah. You know, like you have to really discipline yourself of like, oh, I have all this time, let me make sure I get groceries and I make this and this and that. But then you know you have all that time and you're like, nah,
I'm not gonna do that. I can do way better things.
You're like, it's whatever. I can just go get something out that's a little healthier than normal and I'm chilling.
Yeah, like Taco Bell. Taco Bell
I don't know about that.
Do you like Taco Bell?
Hey, I heard that so many people have said that Taco Bell is the healthiest.
You know what's the healthiest fast food?
Is it?
No. You know what it is?
What?
And this is like facts.
Whoa.
El Pollo Loco.
Well, yeah, but that's like chicken.
Yeah, exactly. What's healthier than chicken?
Chicken.
She's like chicken fajitas from Taco Bell. Taco Bell's not the healthiest.
Come on, yeah.
If we take away Pollo Loco, I don't know, then maybe. Because I don't go to Taco Bell that often.
Why do you even get in Taco Bell that's healthy? Like
I mean, I don't actually probably get healthy things from Taco Bell.
Well, I guess compared to like McDonald's or Burger King, maybe it's healthier, but... Yeah. I stay away from that place.
I feel like a Big Mac is got to be like way more calories than one of those little tacos. I
don't know. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You ever look at the calorie count?
I'm gonna go look now because I don't know.
I'm just saying, bro. If you want to eat healthy, go to Pollo Loco. All they got is chicken.
No, if you wanna be healthy, just don't eat out.
Or eat at home.
Hey, well, I will say, okay, since I moved to Fernley. Probably the best thing that has happened to us is that like DoorDash and Grubhub and that doesn't exist.
Really?
Technically,
like no one does
does.
It out there?
Technically, but the only way you know is if you're in the Fernley like Facebook group chats, and the drivers will post. They'll be like, "Yo, we're online. Like, go ahead and put your orders in."
Oh, wow.
What the hell?
Yeah, and it's like only on the weekends. So
well, you know, it's funny you mentioned that because I know some people who live out there that do like Postmates and DoorDash, and they come here.
But they go to Reno, because there's not. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of business out there. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smaller town, so I guess.
Yeah.
How do you like it? How do you like living out there?
Honestly, I really love it. It's really quiet. I like that I'm close to like Sand Mountain, so.
That's right. You cut that drive a good ways.
Yeah, it's only 50 minutes to Sand Mountain, so I literally have like a 50-minute drive. 50 minutes.
50?
Yeah, to Sand Mountain.
Well, from here it's like an hour. And 40
it's like
minutes.
almost 2 hours.
Like an hour.
Yeah, it's super far from here.
It's way far.
Oh, wow.
You ever have people who are like, "Can we go to Sand Mountain at like 1 p.m.?" I'm like, no.
No, we're definitely no.
It's so bright out there, dude. It's so bad.
Yeah, well, I just did a shoot out there, like a wedding style shoot, and we started at 2 p.m. because we were having rain, but all of a sudden the sun decided to just like come out, and it was definitely like the first like hour of my session was way harsh, and then like the clouds started to come back in, but I was like, whew. But I am trying to love Sand Mountain because I don't.
It's close.
Well, yeah, I don't like driving in the snow. I don't like driving in rain, and driving in the sand scares the living shit out of me. Like I have a truck, four-wheel drive.
I was gonna say, why are you that scared?
No, when you pulled up, I'm like, well, because you seem like the type of girl that would be like out there, you know?
Yeah.
And then you pull up.
And he's like, of course she has
a truck. And I'm like, of course she has a truck.
Okay, well, it's actually my boyfriend's truck, but I drive it everywhere.
I feel like I've noticed that girls that are kind of into that westerny vibe, they always have trucks. Because I know a couple
you got to.
who are very into like Western stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't live out in an area
You got
that's very
to.
Western stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't live out in an area
I'm
that's
not
very
like a
Westerny.
normal girl. I'm not like I don't really wear a lot of makeup. Like yeah, I get my lashes done regularly, and I got some blush on right now, but I don't wear makeup. I think I
I like
own
the
like
hat too.
I think I own one pair of heels.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like the little tiny like blocked ones
like
that
those?
probably like little girls wear in like
The
sixth
booties?
grade. You
They're
know?
like the
Yeah,
little
like the
booties
little booty
boots.
heels.
Yeah.
Like I don't really like to wear dresses. I would much rather be like out playing in the mud with the boys than
Oh, that's cool.
going shopping.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing
So-
There's
wrong with
nothing wrong with that. To
Yeah.
each his own. You don't gotta be the standard for a
Yeah,
girl.
the super girly girl. I mean, I can dress up nice when I want to, but
Do you consider yourself like a very guy? Like you're very guyish or not? How often do you get your hair cut?
Every week.
Oh yeah, you're definitely one. Oh yeah. No, yeah, you're definitely one of those.
No, but I was gonna say probably not, cause you know what? Like between us, right? Everybody?
Between all viewers.
Between
all the viewers.
all of you, 20 people.
I didn't even notice that one over there. Shit.
It's just
Yeah,
creeping.
No, I know, yeah. We have just enough space, but between us, people think I'm gay.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I swear.
Wait, I thought you had a girlfriend.
I do
A
not.
lot of people did after that one post.
Yeah. I did not.
Okay, I was a sucker. My bad.
And don't even bring that up because it's not.
Alright, let's change the subject.
Anyway,
not
dude,
girl.
I was dying when I saw his tweet about everybody thinks I have a girlfriend. I was like, I knew it. I knew people were gonna assume as soon as he posted those.
Shit.
Which is fine. You can assume, but it's not true. Okay.
So do people
I'm a
think that because you
single guy.
haven't had a girlfriend in a while?
Maybe.
Maybe that's what. Maybe, but I
You
don't
know what? I'm gonna be like.
I don't know what
kind
kind of vibe I give
Some
off.
people before I had a girlfriend used to think I was gay, and I was like, I don't know why
Which
would
is
I
fucking
do.
dumb.
I don't know. I
That's dumb as hell.
don't like get that impression from either of you though.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I have
yeah.
definitely. I mean, I have met some people. I'm like, dude, that dude's definitely gay. And then they
gonna
have a
get
girlfriend,
canceled,
and I'm
bro.
like, okay, well, maybe not. But
I mean, it's
I
just
mean, I guess there's some people that just don't know.
like maybe they just like give off a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
or that, yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
dude, my girlfriend thought I was gay when she first met me.
Shut up, she did not.
I swear to you.
Did she
I
tell
swear to
you?
She told me later on. She's like, I honestly thought like you're gay when we first met. I'm like, well, look at you now.
Look at you now.
You can't say.
flourishing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just some. I don't know, dude.
I don't know what it is, honestly.
But I mean,
I guess
hey,
the people that think that don't really know me
Yeah.
very well, but
That's the
That's
thing.
just-
I just
social
think it's
media, I
dumb
guess.
that people, and I think this goes for both genders, is that some people, like, if they don't see a guy around girls often or a lot, they're like, oh, he has to be gay.
Oh my God,
Vice
I
versa
hate
with girls.
that.
And I'm like, that's so stupid. One, it's okay if they are.
Like freaking
Who
softball
cares?
players, dude.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends were softball players growing up, and they all had boyfriends or whatever. And
And
it's like,
people think softball players are lesbian most of the time. And I'm like, what?
it's so frustrating. I
Yeah.
mean, they can totally be lesbian. That's super dope. I
And
also
then
have lesbian softball player friends.
the
But it's
other
like,
thing is
why do we
like-
have to have those stereotypes?
the other thing, they see me like taking pictures of myself.
Oh,
They
I
see
Oh
see.
my
me
gosh.
posting.
Okay, like, you can't have
And,
photos taken because you're a guy.
Because you're a guy.
That's
I'm
so
like,
dumb.
it's
That's so,
dumb.
like,
I love the photos that
That's
you
so,
take
like,
of yourself.
1960s.
Like, I wish,
Thank you.
no, but I wish, like, the way that you take photos of yourself, I wish I could do that. I swear to
don't have
God.
a
But you do. I've seen some of the ones you've taken.
No, but a
you.
lot of those are from my business coach or like from other photographers. Like a
Oh,
lot
I
of the
see.
photos of myself are from other photographers taking them, and then I edit
that's
with like my
self-portraits
preset.
and stuff.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. I've got like maybe a couple that I did on like a self timer, but they were
It's because my camera has this cool function that you can like connect it to your phone, and then you
Do
set
that?
you set everything up,
Yeah.
and then you click one button, and then
And
you
it,
just
like,
start
will
taking pictures like nonstop.
okay. So I can get my camera to do that, but I can't get it to do the like, continuous
Continuous?
shoot.
Uh-huh.
I think
It'll just do one photo.
Some
Right, I hate
some
that.
cameras have different features. I know
Gosh,
that.
That's the one thing
infuriating.
that helps me because like the autofocus is really good, you know.
Yeah.
So I just set it down, put
I
my
feel
phone
like
down, and
nowadays,
just go for it.
like that's such like it's funny that he says that people are like, oh, because I take pictures of myself, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's never been viewed okay for guys to get like take their photo often, but to
Yeah.
me that's just sexist because it's like, what's wrong with guys getting their photo taken?
Yeah,
like,
so
what's wrong with that?
I just did. I like I don't know if I'll like really post it because it's like not a wedding shoot, you know. I really want to stick to weddings, but I had one of my friends, Dylan, shout out to Dylan. He was like, hey, I want some headshots, but I also got a truck and I really want to do some truck photos. So we went out to Boca and we like did some headshot photos, and I like had him bring like 3 different outfits, like a flannel, like little like vest to go over it. We like just went out into the wilderness, and guys are actually pretty easy to shoot. It's just like your arms here, you look this way, your hand here, like super easy. But then when we got to like the truck portion, like I got like detailed shots of like him with his watch on the steering wheel, and I was like, this should totally be a thing for dudes. Like I think it's so cool.
Fun.
Like if a guy gets a new vehicle, like heck,
like
do a car shoot.
There's nothing wrong with getting your photo taken with your car. Like that's your car,
right?
You know,
like,
I
how
remember
sick is that?
like I got like 3 or 4 photos taken with my car like a little after I got it.
Yeah.
Where I went with Austin and Michaela up to Donner one morning, and she was like, do you want a picture by your car? I was like, actually, yeah, I do. That'd be tight.
Right?
So I like posted up next to my little SUV, and I'm like, this is cool. You know, it doesn't have to be some fancy ass car.
Find that like the couples, like the guy sometimes doesn't want to do the shoot. Do you ever get that?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Sometimes they're just like dragging them to the shoot, right?
They kind of go because they have to.
There's been times where I've had dudes that have been dragged to the shoot and they don't want to do the stuff because I'm in like gosh, I just like blanked on the word. I like candid shots versus like posed. So I will do what's called like prompts. So I'll say like, okay, link up arms and you guys are going to walk towards me and bump hips and make sure you guys are looking at each other the whole time. And I'll be shooting and getting different angles. And sometimes the dude will be like,
what the hell is this?
Are you freaking kidding me? Like, or yeah, get on her back and do a piggyback ride. So I think I'm like slowly learning to kind of read my couples, and that's also why I do the questionnaire too, to try and understand.
So how do you
more.
do that? Do you send it through your website? You have a website?
Yeah, so I use Honeybook, which is like a client management system. And so after they've booked with me, it automatically sends it to them like a week before their shoot.
Oh, nice.
And so it'll ask all those questions, and I try and say like, get your significant other involved, so that way they can also answer questions.
Cool.
It's a good idea.
And depending like how informative the boyfriend is like how I know how involved he is going to be in the shoot. So, but I've definitely had some that like pull back, and you kind of just got to work around it, and then that's when I kind of tend to go back to more of the posed stuff.
It's a little easier for people.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes once you get started, they loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, are you good?
I almost coughed. I was gonna say something and I had something like get caught in. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but you can't cough. You can't cough.
Yeah, I can't cough because
there.
people are gonna think I have COVID.
Do you not want to cough because we're gonna get shit?
Yeah, and we're already.
Isn't it crazy?
We're already not wearing masks.
We got one comment, and then you kind of think like, oh, people are hating, you know, but it's just one person.
It sticks.
I think there's more people that probably hate. It's just, I don't know. I will wear a mask if someone like wants me to. I will totally respect that factor.
Yeah, me too.
And wear the mask. But for me, I don't know. I've been going through this whole time with like wearing a mask when I'm supposed to, but when I'm like not
in an atmosphere where you think there are calls for
I'm like, I don't. And of course, like I know people are dying and this is very, very serious, but for me, I'm just...
You gotta look at your circumstances, you know?
Yeah, I feel like depending on the situation, you should deduct like, should I be wearing a mask now or should I not? It's like,
because you gotta,
like when someone says something to him about our podcast and like, oh, you guys don't even wear a mask. I'm like, it's 3 people.
Yeah.
We're not at a party.
We're also far away.
Yeah,
we're
it's
not
like
sharing drinks.
It's like we're not at a
different.
party or a freaking big social gathering. Like I'm sure me and him wouldn't come in here if we were like not feeling well.
Right, like if I was like had a fever, I definitely would have been like, yeah,
exactly.
I understand.
It's just
like
people like to look at angles that they don't even know really much about. Like they try to deduct one thing instead of knowing the situation more than what it is.
I don't even know why I brought this up, but I guess like we got into it.
Yeah.
This guy, I know him and everything, but he doesn't know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he doesn't know my family and I didn't really get together for Christmas because of that.
Yeah.
It's like,
You know what I mean? So like you don't know.
It's
So-
like,
Yeah,
he sees us do a podcast episode, and he's like, oh, you guys don't even wear masks? I'm like, do you
Yeah.
know what we were doing before all this? Like, it's just 3 people, bro.
Yeah.
Relax. It's
Well,
just, I don't know, man.
unfortunately, it's again, like, that's the bad side of social media.
Sure.
And like what's going on is like people are only seeing one side of things. And like I could go back to like my situation of when I was like being the shady photographer. Like, yeah, I had a lot going on, and yes, I practiced things wrong, and I see that now. But at the same time, like, I feel like if people would have understood like all that was going on, it would have maybe not been so harsh.
There's always 2
I like
you know,
that
there's
you-
always 2 sides to a story.
I like
so.
that you're open about it though.
Yeah, at least you're like,
Well, I wasn't before.
Right.
It took like a lot of like just coming to terms with that I really fucked up
Yeah.
and like really hurt a lot of people's feelings, and really taking the time to know and how to do the business right this time around.
Yeah,
no,
'cause
it's just good that you matured from it, and you're like,
I
okay, I
respect
get
that.
it. Like,
Yeah.
people can't admit when they're wrong. That's the
Exactly.
thing. Like, no
Oh,
matter
it's-
what, it's so
I
hard
still
for
can't
people to be like,
sometimes. Yeah.
like, people get so defensive and they think they do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, whatever, man. One day
Are
maybe
you-
you'll mature and do it.
Are
Yeah.
you guys on the Facebook groups of like the photography? Like
I've
Reno
never gone into
photographers?
those. I've been invited, but I don't think I've actually gone in it.
Yeah.
So I just don't really feel
I mean, one of them, and there was this situation where one photographer was taking money from people and stuff like that, you know? And then it's just like the photographer himself, like, they get so defensive, you know?
Yeah.
And so, honestly, like, I respect you just being open about it, you know? Because
Yeah.
that's hard.
Well, for like now too, like taking money now is like a really serious thing for me, because like I even tell people, I'm like, okay, are you sure you want to pay your full amount now, or are you sure you want to pay this much for a deposit? Like, I'm totally down with taking payments, because like it's a lot of money, and that's a really, really big investment, and a lot of things can go down and whatever. I'm totally going to be 100% with people from
Yeah.
here on out, but it definitely is a really stressful situation, and I just want to make sure people are like know what's going on.
I feel the same way when people are like, "Can I just pay you all now?" I'm like, "Can you just wait till after we do it?" Like,
that
I want to make
stresses
sure
me
we
out
do
sometimes. I'm like, yeah, if
Yeah.
you really want to, but
it. Yeah,
I'm
it's like you can just send a
rather-
small deposit. It's okay,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful with money. When I started asking for deposits, it was like, man, like,
Yeah, I ask like a really small. Well, with weddings, I do the half, but with shoots, I'm like, okay, $50.
Yes.
Yeah.
is the deposit amount, because I'm like too afraid to even go above
Take the whole
that.
quantity
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's good to think about that though, because you're kind of thinking about your client too, not just like, oh, I'm making money.
because you just never know what
Yeah.
can happen, you know? And then what if you take out the whole amount and then it gets canceled? You already spent that money.
We're like,
now you gotta send
with
it back.
how we are nowadays, it's like, what if like you happen to get sick and you can't be out for like 2 weeks, and you have all these shoots lined up and these people already paid you, and, then
you might
Yeah.
be.
you can't really reschedule because so and so just can't anymore, and it's like you already have all that money. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky
You're
for
gonna have
me, I've like kind of slowly started to create a savings. Thank goodness I've never been like that. I've always been the like paycheck to paycheck person. So I actually like have a savings account this year, which is
There
fucking
you go.
rad.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So I mean, like, if something did happen, I do feel safe to say that like if any of my clients like said, hey, we're not doing our wedding anymore, or something crazy happened, like I don't think I offer refunds like for certain types on my contract, but I would be willing to be like, yo, of course, like
the way that
something
I like to
happened.
balance that is, I post all my deposits in one account and don't touch it.
Yeah, right? That's
Until
what
I
I'm saying.
do the shoot.
Until like you do the shoot and it's done, and I mean,
Because then if something comes up and I understand the situation and I need to send them their money back, then it's
Yeah.
like, here you go, I haven't
Yeah.
used it. So
yeah, it's not
just to me, it just
it's not
feels weird, like
stressful.
spending money that you haven't worked for.
right.
yet.
You haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
That's why I had a really hard time with taking deposits at first too, because I'm like, oh shoot, like it's just still even $50. It's still stressful,
Yeah.
like taking it
Yeah.
ahead of time and being
Yeah,
like,
that's up. Yeah.
okay,
And what was I gonna say?
it's
I
just
forgot.
just
Did you
business.
blink out?
I blanked out.
Just
Yeah.
business practices in
Yeah.
general. It's just those are like little stressors that you don't necessarily think about when you become a
No, you
photographer,
don't.
business owner.
Reality hits down the line and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people like even ask how I started taking deposits, and I was like, well, when you get like no call no showed enough, you'll eventually.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know how I started asking deposits? So this 1 month, I think it was October or something, I had crazy amount of shoots.
Yeah.
I had like 10 cancellations
I
in a
remember
month,
that.
you know? That's already like a lot. Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm like, this is over. Like, we're not doing this anymore.
I started to do it when, I want to say it was like 2 years ago. So I'd already been shooting for like 3.
Yeah.
And I had that happen often, but I was just being patient. I'm like, whatever, I'll be patient. But then I think one month there was, I think there were like 2 weddings that I was going to miss out on because I had something booked.
Yep.
And so I didn't take the weddings, and super last minute for both, they were just like, we can't anymore.
Oh, that's so hurtful.
I'm like, dude, I could have done a whole wedding, and just because you want to hit me up the day before that, you can't anymore. So that's when I really just lost it. I'm like, dude, F this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to everyone else who doesn't like paying deposits,
right?
but
It sucks, but
you got to get it.
And I just recently, so I don't know, do you remember when I bumped into you at the shoot and my client was like 30 minutes late or something like that?
Yeah.
So I just recently then had to add a late clause to my
I've been
contract.
thinking about doing that because people show up way too late sometimes.
Dude, like
way
10
too late.
minutes, 10 minutes
It's
is
fine.
like max, man. Because, you know, lighting is so important. And sometimes for me, I'm still new to this, you know? So I'm still learning when the exact time of sunset
My
is.
thing is that I hate when I have things lined up and if someone shows up late, they make me late. I don't like being late.
I don't like being late
Like,
either.
oh, I have to message this couple like, hey guys, sorry, I'm gonna be 20 minutes late because the couple before you
was
decided
late.
to show you up 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
And it's either you show up late or when that couple shows up, you're like, you know what, you're 20 minutes late, so your shoot is now 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah. And I like I've done that a couple of times with shoots because I'm like, I'm so sorry, but like especially when I'm doing minis and I've got like people back to back. It's like, dude, I have someone after you. Like I really want to give you this time, but
I just can't.
I can't.
Because I can't keep people waiting or, you know, as like a photographer, you're supposed to be professional. Like you can't, they're going to be like, oh dude, my photographer showed up like 20 minutes late.
I would
and
hate
it's
that.
like, that's not my fault. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I'm on time. It's just this person messed it up. So everyone watching, please show up on time.
Yeah, please show up on time.
Like, please stop being late. If you know you're going to be late, message us way beforehand.
Oh yeah, like even if you're like live in freaking Spanish Springs and we're meeting in Verdi and I'm sitting in Verdi, okay, and you're like, yo, I'm still like a half hour out. At that point, like I would just rather you be like, hey, we're still a half hour out, can we just reschedule?
Yeah.
Because I would much rather just like drive home at that point than wait another 30 minutes for you to like show up.
Yeah. I tend to do that when people say they're gonna be, or I ask them, like they'll say, oh, I'm gonna be late, and I'm like, do you know about how much?
Like
and if
5
I have
minutes?
something right after
Yeah.
where I know it's gonna get in the way, I'm like, can we just do it
Yeah.
another time? I'm like, and I tell them, I'm like, I have someone else at this time and I'm sorry, I just can't show up late. And if it's like a full session and they're like, well, can you just do half? I'm like, that's fine, because I can still fit everyone in. But then it's like, cool, now I'm going from a full session to a half, so it's like, I had it planned for this, and then it just people don't understand how much there goes into being late. And I get it. People feel bad. Like, I've had people show up late and they're like, I'm really sorry. And I'm like, I get it. Things happen. But it's like, dude, you made a commitment. Yeah. You chose the time, not me.
Not me,
it's like, you're the one that said this day, at this time, at this place.
Well, and a lot of the times, I do dictate the time for the most part. Like, I'll ask people, like, do you want sunrise or sunset? But I'm like, okay, well, if sunset is at 5, then I want you, like, if our shoot is an hour and a half, you better show up at like 3, and then we're probably even gonna sit there and talk for 15 minutes, so I can like even get to know you a little bit more before we even start shooting.
Start like 3:30.
Yeah, so we won't even really start till like 3:30, but then people will still be like an hour late, and I'm like, oh dude.
I've tended
you just can't be too nice.
I've tended to leave gaps now when I have back-to-backs, which is kind of sad that I have to do
You have to do that. You shouldn't have to.
If I have like a shoot at 2 and it's a 25-minute session, I won't book anything else until like past 2:45 to give like a 20-minute like lenient time.
That is a big break. I usually just do like a 5-minute break.
No, I do 20 because I used to do 5-10 and people
it's like
just
not
didn't
enough.
respect it anyway. So I've done 20 lately, and it's worked out. Like, people show up late, I'm like, whatever, I still have time. It's still annoying when people show up late, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like you gotta work around it, because if not, you're just gonna be showing up late all the time, and it's just it goes into your time. Like you could have done something else between that 20-minute break. Like people don't understand how valuable time is for stuff
so
like
important.
that.
Yeah, don't
So
be too nice, especially once you're more established. You just can't be playing those games, you know.
I just think I'm patient, and I hate it. I love it, but I hate it.
Yeah,
like I'm very patient.
I am so patient too.
Well, I mean that day I mean, like I sat there and waited like 30
I remember
minutes.
seeing you. I'm like, what time are we supposed to get here? 3?
I'm
like 3:35.
I'm like 3.
I was
and
like,
she's
Jesus,
like,
dude.
He's like, come on.
I think I like was halfway through my shoot.
Yeah, halfway through the session, I'm like,
What's the most? What is the most that you have waited for people? We'll see who wins.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I do pretty good with this.
I think I waited 45 minutes for someone. I think that was probably the longest.
I did 45 minutes once too.
I shot well into blue hour.
Oh,
I don't even think any of these photos have been posted. I know exactly the session I'm talking about. And it was dark. It was definitely dark. Like I almost wish I had like a flash at that time.
I think it's really dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do.
45
with, like,
minutes is another whole shoot. You know?
Seriously.
That's almost a full session for me. It's just
I waited 45
off.
minutes this
That's I mean it's one of my that's like my lowest package is like a 45-minute session.
I think the most I waited to was like 40 or 45 minutes.
What are some of your packages? Like how do you
So
work on
I used to do it like break it up by like maternity, senior, family. But then I was like, I just really want to try and not necessarily focus on like a niche, but I really obviously I really want to focus on weddings. But I was just going to break it down by time. So like my lowest package is 30 to 45 minutes and that's $325. Then it jumps up to an hour and that's $350 or $375, I can't remember. And then my next one is an hour and a half and that's $425.
Okay.
So then you can kind of dictate how much time you want, because there are some couples that are like, I really don't need an hour and a half. And I was doing that with all my couple sessions.
Yeah, it's hard to like have only one package where it's like a big amount of time, because some people are like, I don't need that many photos. There's people who are like, I'm cool with your 25-minute because I just want like
10 photos.
And I'm like, okay.
Like, all right, sweet.
And then there's other that are like, do you offer more than 50? Like I had someone recently message me about grad photos where it's like the girl, her sister, and their mom who are all graduating from UNR, funny enough.
What? That's so cool.
Yeah,
though.
I was like, that's kind of dope that all 3 of you are doing it.
Yeah, right? And like a generational.
And so she like saw my packages and my booking thing, and she's like, hey, I saw you have like a 50-minute, but do you think that'd be enough time? I'm like, see, I can give you something bigger.
Yeah.
So it'd be this much. So we bumped it up to like an hour and a half. And I just bumped up the price. And she's like, okay, perfect. Because I want to make sure, like, I get photos, my mom gets photos, my sister gets photos, and then, like, a mix and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's understandable. But when it's, like, just one person, like, during senior sessions, I hardly ever do, like, the full. It's always, like, 25 minutes. And some people are like, well, I have 2 outfits. I'm like, yeah, then let's do the full. Because if you have two.
I always try and recommend doing, like, the 2 outfits for seniors. Just so, like, especially, like, the college seniors. Because then you have, like, the cap and gown this year wasn't as fun.
Right.
But, like, the cap and gown and then, like, their casual outfit.
Yeah, and then some people don't want, like, a certain dress under their cap and gown. So they're like, I want these with just this and that. And I'm like, so, yeah, I always recommend the 2 outfit for seniors too, but some are just like, I just want some photos with my cap and gown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, I have a 25-minute. I'm pretty sure that's enough. And then some are
Easy
even still
seniors.
like, is it enough? And I'm like, it is. Trust me.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
People I feel like don't realize how much photos you can take really in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like there are times when I'm like,
you do when you, I'm sure you guys have done it too, like the 20-minute minis.
Yes.
People don't think it's a lot, but then I get them like 35, 40 pictures, and they're like, whoa, for real?
They're like, dang.
And I'm like, yeah, that's how many I took.
There has been times where I like have even so I get in trouble for this all the time. I continue to shoot and I'm trying not to. So, like when I'm shooting, I'm like literally just holding down the shutter and taking like fucking like 50 photos in one. Now again, I'm like having my couples and people move around, so like it slightly makes sense to an extent, but I don't need to be sitting there holding down the shutter, you know?
Just clicking and taking like 600 photos per
No,
shoot.
literally, so like during a mini session one time, I think I took like 600 photos and I wanted to punch myself. I was like, why did I do that to myself?
I once gave a couple like 90 pictures from a 20-minute shoot, which is kind of ridiculous.
That is insane.
Because I don't know how I took so many. We were just like cranking.
Yeah, you're
it
just
out.
like going, and you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was like switching between like close up, a little bit in the middle, and then I was doing landscape ones.
especially
to
when
show
you're
the
like
background, and
flowing.
I'm like,
you
You
know?
can be very quick. You can
yeah,
be very
and
quick.
people. I mean, I don't like to limit how much they get back anyway, so I'm
Yeah.
just like, yo, if you get 60, you get 60. If I
Yep.
was only able to get 35, I'm sorry. It just depends
Yeah,
on
it
like.
depends.
It depends on the person. Some people are just a little slow, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna drag my feet over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So
walk,
it's like,
walk,
okay,
walk my time.
and then they just take forever to like get in the zone
Get
of
in
it
the,
and
like,
stuff, and it's like,
with
hey, that's
posing
your
and stuff.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Some people are
doing
slow.
shoots when whatever it kind of is. Well, more like when it's 2 or more people, because there's always one of them like, yo, we gotta like
Come on, why are you walking
we got
slow?
20 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
hurry
we
up.
only have 20 minutes.
You're
Let's
like,
go.
do what he says, you know. And I'm like, hey, that's what's gonna get you the most. So.
I feel like it's usually the girl that does that.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's always the girl in couple shoots who are like,
That is
babe,
true.
Come on.
we gotta do this, or like,
Walk
hey,
faster.
do this. Like, just listen to him.
Just-
And I'm like looking at the dude like, yeah, bro, I'll just tell you
yeah,
what to
just
do.
just
I had-
listen to me. I got you. I
I had
promise.
this one family shoot this one day, and they weren't necessarily slow with like posing and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but like walking to places, the
Oh.
slowest walk
Oh
I've had
my
that
I've
happen
God.
too
ever
with
seen in my
families.
entire life.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
migrate in like a little group.
Yeah,
Like,
and
they're
they're
like
just
this.
like really.
Yeah,
You're like
like-
way
you're
ahead
like-
of them, and you look back and
no,
you're
no.
like,
Come on. You almost like need
Let's
leashes for
speed it
them
up.
and be like,
Or like-
okay, we're good.
like herds.
Yeah, come
You're
on.
like herding them
Minding
around.
my
You're like,
cattle dog.
Come on now. Like, I know there's like 15 of you, but
It's
It's
interesting.
fine.
It's interesting
is.
to see just how people are, you know.
Yeah.
In general, it's just like wow, you're so
everyone
much
is
different
just
than me.
such a different character.
Yeah.
My
I love that about like taking photos of
I don't
people.
know. I think my favorite of all time though is when the dude is more into the shoot than the
Oh, yeah, I've had
girl.
that
Oh,
happen a
yeah.
few
Like the
times.
dudes are like, okay, wait, let's can we try this? And I'm like, yes, we totally can. Like, cause usually it's some like outrageous thing that
I
I
bet
like
that's gonna be
I
me.
want them to do.
I
But-
love the guys that ask for like the bro pics with their girlfriends, like where they're like, "Yo, can you get us like dabbing up?"
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
yeah, dude. Or they'll be like, "Yo, can I hop on her back
On her
for a
back,
piggyback?"
right?
I'm like, yeah.
I've had that a couple of times too.
And I think that's cool though, because it just shows that they're excited to do it too. And
Yeah.
it's not like we're gonna say no. Like
No.
I'm not gonna be like,
I'm gonna be
nah,
like,
bro, you
yes.
can't dap up your girlfriend. Like,
I mean,
do whatever you want.
I had like a maternity shoot where the dude was like, can we please do the belly pic? And so he like literally like full on
Oh, like,
stuck out
yeah.
his belly, and they were pushing their bellies together, and like it was hella rad. I was
Just a
like,
fun time.
yeah, I was like, this is great.
I feel like that's gonna be me whenever I get a girl, you know.
Oh, like when
Whenever
you-
that happens.
Yeah, whenever you get one, wink, wink.
Yeah. Wink, wink. When the
I just
time
gotta
comes.
be like, hey, let's do this.
when he
let's do
stops
that.
hiding that he has a girlfriend, we're like,
Yeah, for real.
What are you talking about, man? You're crazy.
I'm gonna make people think so much crap. I'm sorry.
We're just
bro.
gonna start rumors.
People are
it's
gonna
fine.
see what I just said, and they're like, wait, does he?
Wait, does he really?
What if that whole Twitter thing was just a front? What if he is dating somebody, but he's just saying that he's not?
It was. I did see a girl leave here earlier.
I think of all people, I'd probably know pretty quick. At least I hope so. You tell me, right?
I would tell
Probably
you.
not.
Okay.
No, yeah, I would tell you.
I like to think we're friends a little bit.
You're kind of nasty sometimes.
We're associates.
Yeah,
We're just
creative half.
business partners, I guess.
Yeah, we just do business together, and we run a podcast together that is all about.
I mean, we don't really hang out outside
don't
of
really
this,
hang
you know?
out.
I just think we're both busy. A lot
Really?
of the
I feel like
times.
you guys used to hang out.
No,
No, not really.
No, no.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
outside of like doing photos together, or now this is like our weekly hangout now.
Yeah, it is.
And at least now, like, we don't really just get together just to be like, yo,
No.
you want to go eat or something? We should
But we don't.
Yeah,
make
what?
friends all 2021.
Yeah, weird.
It is kind of weird that.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
weird.
like go hang
you know what?
out.
Now that she brings it up, it is kind of weird.
But
but
I
we
feel
don't
like
really
it's
hang out.
fine though.
But that's okay
Yeah.
though. I
Yeah.
mean,
Maybe I don't want to be around him that much. Because then what if I'm like, I don't really like him?
yeah,
like that?
yeah. What if you
Then
really
you
don't like
realize that you
it?
hate
So
me.
yeah, I realize that I'm just not meant to be around him. Like maybe these once a week are enough.
Yeah,
You know, where I'm like, oh, I see him.
you
once
just
a
get
week.
like your fix of chava. And that's
Yeah,
it.
like a little.
That's all you need,
2
like-
hours, and then I'm like, that's it, bro. I don't want to be around you anymore.
That's it. That's all I need.
It's like I hang around him more, and then I'm like, why do I even have a podcast with this
Yeah,
dude?
why did I do
Like, why
this?
am I even friends with the cancels all the weddings I has with him? Like,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
never
you guys
mind.
just did a wedding. How did it go?
It was good.
It was great.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was
we have
awesome.
I think 6 more
Damn.
this year, unless more pop up. Where like
Do you have a
they
lot
get
of
me
weddings
with
coming up
that.
this year?
Yeah,
do?
I actually have like a crazy amount, and I'm kind of really excited
How many
for
you
it. So, oh gosh, now I gotta think. So I have 2 in February. I have 1 in April, June, July. 1 in June, 1 in July, 2 in August, and then 3 in October.
Nice.
So like 15?
That's pretty good. For your
14?
Maybe.
for your second year of like full
Yeah, and they're like a mix between, I think 3 are like the big full weddings, and then the rest are all kind of like the smaller intimate.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But still, I'm really stoked.
And
Yeah,
there's a
like-
lot of them that come up last minute too.
Yeah, I think with like the way everything was going last year with COVID moving brides and stuff like that, and then of course there was a fudge ton of proposals over Christmas. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Christmas,
so
everyone got engaged. Holy crap.
we did like an over under, and I think I did the over, and it was like, I think we said like 7 or something, and I saw 14
I
proposals.
saw like 35 on my Instagram.
Holy shit.
Which is insane.
That's wild.
And you know what? It's fine because
Yeah,
two
I'm
of
like,
them hit me
hey,
up. 2 of those people that I
Hey.
follow and follow me hit me up.
right?
Yeah, you're ever like, oh, that's my friend. Like, I'm for sure getting this one, right? You're like, oh, that's my buddy.
Yeah,
That's
I
for
saw
sure.
I've
somewhere.
definitely done that
They
a
were
couple
like
of times.
longtime friends, and I'm like, he's about to hit me up.
Yeah.
And then like 2
You're
days
like, oh,
later,
I'm
he's
about to
like,
do a
hey, bro, I don't
wedding.
know if you saw my post. I'm like, yes, I did.
I did. I saw you got engaged.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
it'd just be like random people who like I've been following and they follow me, and I'm like, oh, you got engaged? And
I
they're like, they
know.
always hit you with the, I don't know if you saw my post. I'm like, oh, I saw it.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw.
Oh, I have one.
Oh yeah, I definitely
Somebody
saw.
hit me up, but we gotta keep it a secret for now.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
But we're doing one. I'll let you know. I'll tell you after the podcast.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
sneaky.
Well, alrighty then.
GG.
Ooh, hey. That's
All right.
that's how I feel like proposals go down. They're like,
Yeah, we can't
I've done
run
it.
without a wake.
Done a
if you're
couple of
watching.
those.
I don't
They're
know what happened
they're
with this
stressful.
one, but they're trying to keep it secret. So
Ooh,
I've had that though.
okay.
I've had some where I do their proposal and they're like, "Can you not post them till like we tell you?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's
Actually,
fine.
that's
These
That's
are
totally
your
fine.
pictures."
Yeah.
Yeah, like I respect the privacy aspect. Or some are just like, "Can you not post them at all?" I'm like, "That's fine too."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or if you ever
same.
do like any other type of session where people are like, "Is it fine if you just don't post them?" And I'm like, "That's fine."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
"You don't
have-
want all these people seeing your face on my Instagram?" That's
Yeah,
okay.
what? Yeah.
Like I understand.
I've done like boudoir shoots a couple of times, and like I will always ask the girl, I'm like, hey, do you want these posted or not? And if they say no, like it's not going anywhere. Like that thing's gonna be locked with a password, and you got a password to download it, and like it's just
You just gotta
respecting.
respect. I guess technically you could, right? Is that my
I
understanding?
mean,
Am I right?
technically, you're
I
the
mean,
owner of the images.
yeah.
But you just have to
I
respect.
still
But don't be
probably
an ass.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I was like,
don't
I
be
wouldn't
an
be a
ass.
dick about it. Like,
Yeah.
There's been times though when I have done some shoots where I like really want to post them, and then they're just like, "Can you not?" And I'm
right? And you're like,
Yeah.
why would you
There
say
was, like-
that to me?
There was these photos once I did at Donner during sunrise that are like some of my favorite pictures
Oh
I've
my-
ever
it's
taken.
how it always
And
works.
the couple was very like just to themselves, so I get it, you know. And I think they felt awkward asking me because at the end of the shoot they were like, "Hey, we know like you have a lot of exposure on Instagram and
Yeah.
stuff, and like could we just not have you post these? Like
Yeah.
we don't know if we're gonna post them. We wanted them for us." And I'm like, I get that. But in my head, after I edited them, I'm like, bro, really?
You're like,
I was so
"Damn
happy with them. I'm
it.
like,
It's like
damn
my-
it, I
it's like my
can't
best
post
shoot."
these.
As soon as they start getting into telling me that they don't, I'm like, yes. Like,
Yeah, you're like, yo,
Yeah,
totally.
just like it's all good. Like you don't have
But
to
yeah.
make
Yeah.
it awkward or like think that I'm gonna be offended or something.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. I respect your privacy.
I'd much rather you tell me than like me post your
Oh my
photos all
God.
over and then like you hate seeing it,
I had
or
this
someone
one
else
time-
comes to me and
this one
says
time I
it.
posted a set. I really liked it. It was like a very nice one. And then the girl hit me up telling me to take him down.
Oh,
Dang.
And I was like,
that's
I'm so
even
sorry.
more awkward when you
I
post
didn't
them
know.
already.
And ever since that time, I'm
Yeah.
like, sometimes I ask, are you
Well,
okay
the
with
worst
me
one
post-
is like when the couple breaks up.
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
like, can you please take? And I'm like, that shoot was so good though.
Yeah.
Like I still want to use your
I've had
photos.
that. I've had some couples who break up and they're like, "Hey, do you think you can
You
get
just
rid
not
of those?"
post those? And I'm like,
okay.
Oh, that was like
Like,
one of my most
I was
fire
like,
shoots, bro.
Damn, I'm like, alright.
2 months later,
Or
2
have you
months
ever
later,
had the,
they're already dating
You know
someone
what's
else.
awkward
Yeah.
is when people ask you why you haven't posted them. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know
All the
why
time.
people do that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, and it's like,
Like, have you ever had people just be like, how come you never posted our pics? Like, if you run into them
yeah.
another time where you do multiple shoots with them, and it's like, sometimes you just don't.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I
it's
can't
so
keep
weird.
track of all the ones I
Especially
do.
too, like, I know I've done a lot of shoots, and so like I'll have to like sit and like go back through my feed and be like, okay, which couple have I not posted in a hot minute? And then
Yeah.
like I'll try and go back, and sometimes I'll see like, oh, I haven't done this couple in a while, but I've just like have done so many that it's just like the ones I've done recently are the ones in my forefront.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
like, okay.
There's times when like I've done multiple shoots with people and I just haven't posted them.
Yeah.
And it's just because I just kind of forgot. And then I do something else and I'm like, oh, I want to post these.
I want to post
or
this. Yeah.
Post this
And
and post
then
that.
just stay
It
behind.
doesn't mean that their photos weren't good or if
No.
I, like don't want to post them. It's just
Yep.
sometimes you just people don't understand unless you're like a photographer. It's like a photographer thing. Like you're
Well,
not gonna
and
post
then, like-
every shoot in order. You know, because
No.
then I'd be posting like damn near 4 times a day.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it
trying
would
to
be
like
miserable.
crank everything out, and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that. So it's,
Well, and two, like, okay, for me, I want to be a wedding photographer. So
want to have more of that.
I'm
market.
going to post
More of
weddings and couples. I'm not going to post senior photos. I'm not going to post the session that I did with my friend Dylan. I'm not going to post necessarily maternity photos because those aren't things that I necessarily want to shoot.
Yeah.
And so, like, I hope that my clients don't feel offended because I don't
Yeah,
post.
same.
I was wondering about that.
I
even
do
made a
try.
tweet.
Yeah.
I wonder if they get offended, but you know.
I don't know. I do try and like share like any. So like I love when people tag me in their stuff though because I do love like resharing it to my
Yeah.
story
Same.
and things like that. Like that definitely makes me feel good because I love seeing that they love the work.
Yeah.
But I'm like I just hope they don't think I hate
No,
them
it
or.
also you have a great point where you say it also depends on what you're trying to advertise.
Yeah.
Like me this year, I want to do more like couple solos and small families. Mm-hmm. For me, maternity counts. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
I want to do weddings because I love weddings.
Yeah.
But then during certain seasons of the year, like I tend to post some things.
Yeah.
Like once like March hits, I'm like I'm gonna blast my feed with like graduation pics because it's grad
Yeah,
season.
because it's grad season.
And then once it's like July, I'll post more like wedding stuff
Yep.
because that's usually when weddings are going. And then I think fall time's like a great like family
like that
couple.
the fall minis.
Yeah, like a great
Yeah.
like couples and families
Yep.
is good for the fall. And then you can just include like just a random solo shoot you did. Like not that many people really ask for solos anyway. It's
No, they
usually-
really don't. I
Unless
mean,
it's like a graduation thing.
yeah, not for me anyways. I think I get more like headshots from like other photographers or other business owners, but I hardly ever get someone who's like, "Oh, I just want to go do a photo shoot of me."
I think the
You know?
solos I usually do is like when I want to have like an idea done and someone volunteers. So then I just need one person.
I need like a creative something to
Uh-huh.
go down.
And then a lot of times it's like I just wanted to do it. It doesn't mean I have to blast it everywhere. So it's
Yeah,
like don't
like, you
think
just
that I didn't
need
like the
it.
shoot just because I didn't post it. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't
You guys
know.
are both doing Valentine's minis, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Is that right?
almost done with mine. I think I have like 3 more to do and then I'm
Are
done.
you having one like?
Yeah, so mine's January 30th, so this upcoming Saturday. I actually have like a few time slots left.
Oh, there you
I have
go.
2 Sunday
Jump
and then
on
I
them,
have
everybody.
one like early February and that's it for my Valentine's because they all got filled out.
Well, I was gonna do more, and then Jackie and we do the styled shoots of Styled and Wild shootouts. We create like weddings and elopements for other photographers to come and shoot, and so we're actually going to Vegas for our first shoot instead of being in Reno. So we leave. I'm just shooting a wedding in Mesquite, Nevada, of all places, on the 13th in February. But we're leaving the 11th. And then we're going to stay all the way through like the 18th and go through SoCal and do all these shoots.
Oh, cool.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, damn, I'm gone for like half of freaking
That's cool,
February already though. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
cool.
I can't really do minis.
Yeah, that's
but-
true. See, I thought about like February is usually like I have a lot of events that month.
Yeah.
Like more on like a personal aside from photography thing. So I try to keep February not super
Yeah.
crazy because I want to like hang out with people.
Well, then I'm like realizing too that like, I don't know, my fall minis sold out way fast and my Valentine's ones aren't. And I'm almost just thinking like everybody is still really crunched from freaking Christmas. So I'm like,
That's true.
I was surprised the Valentine's Day ones that I did got like taken so fast.
Yeah.
Because mine sold out within the first day, and I was like, okay, that's it. And
Yeah,
then
but I
just
like-
scheduled them out.
I upped my price on these ones a little bit more because I don't know. I would much rather spend an hour and a half with a client than 20 minutes. Like, I really want to take that time and, like, hang out and get those cool detailed shots. So I'd prefer not to have the 20-minute sessions. So I up mine to, like, 200 for 20 minutes, and they got, like, 35 to 50 images. So, I mean, that's not bad. But beforehand, I was doing, like, 150 for 20 minutes, and they got a full gallery.
Right.
So I felt like that was, like, a big difference for people.
I think the way I structure mine is I don't charge much because it's a good opportunity for people to just go get a quick session.
Yeah.
But then you make that connection with them too. Of
Very
like,
true.
oh, you
And
got
they
your
might
photos.
come back in the future
you like
and
them,
stuff.
and a lot of the people who I've done mini sessions for, because I really started doing those last year, like in the beginning of the year. A lot of those people come back for normal stuff all the time, or they just recommend you all the time.
Yeah, because they just did like that quick session. You're like, oh my god, they were so good. You gotta go see
one
them.
of the clients, I did her maternity photos not that long ago. When I did the Christmas like gift certificates, she bought like 3 of them and gifted them out to 3 people.
Yeah.
And one of those people now is having me do their wedding this year.
Yeah, see, that's
crazy.
so cool.
From a mini gift certificate session.
Yeah.
That was like their engagement, right? Like they were like, can we make an engagement theme? I'm like, sure. I did it, and they're like, "Are you free in August?" I'm like, "What date?" And told me the date. I was like, "Yes, I am."
Hell yeah,
And now
I am.
That's marketing. That's marketing.
They're like,
101.
hello,
yeah,
thank you.
it's crazy how it links up.
Yeah.
So
I love like word of mouth like that though.
Yeah, it's
my favorite.
The best.
it's huge.
The best.
Word of mouth here is huge. And I think
Oh, it
people
really
don't
is.
realize that.
Especially here.
Like if social media didn't exist, like that would probably be the one thing that would get
We'd
me
all
the
rely on
business
here.
is
Yeah.
the word of mouth for
I
sure.
mean, I started doing what he said, where I ask all my clients that I shoot with, like, where they heard about me or how they got to know me. And
That's huge.
Yeah.
like
word of mouth.
60% of them is like, so-and-so told me. And I'm like, thank you.
Yep.
I usually message that person. I'm like, hey, I just did this shoot
Yeah.
because you recommended me, so thanks. Like,
Well, I ended up giving like one of my brides like a pretty good discount because I booked 4 weddings off of her. So I was
damn.
like, yeah. So I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
a lot.
I'll give you a discount on your wedding this year because I got 4 clients from you.
Yeah.
So
No, that's all.
Yeah.
that's pretty dang
So
reasonable.
I came here for some headshots,
Yeah.
and then it's this one person that has sent me so many people.
I love it.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna hook you up.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
At that
you know?
point, like we'll just trade. Like you just keep bringing me
I used
people.
to do this thing like a couple years back that I really should do now, where after a shoot I would tell whoever, I'm like, hey, if you give me 3 shoots, you get a mini for free. And
Yeah.
they would like
That's cool.
That's
hop
huge.
right on it.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
I
need to get back
would.
to that.
See that? And it goes
That
back
used to happen a lot.
it
Like
goes
people
back-
I would literally have like 3
I'm like,
people
hey.
within
Yeah.
a week.
I
Be
need
like,
you to
hey,
go
so and so told me to come to you, and then as soon as all 3 hit, I would message the person like, you got your free mini. Let me know when you want to
It
do
goes
it.
back to
So-
the things that you can do to grow your business.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things you can do.
Client
So many
experience.
things.
Damn, I've been messing up. I need to start doing that.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Anybody
over here?
watching? Yo,
Well,
if you give me 3 clients,
3
you get a
clients.
free mini.
I mean, at a certain point, is like, do you really need to? You know, because
Yeah.
you stay pretty booked out. You know, so it's
It
just
doesn't
like,
hurt to be more booked out though.
I mean,
Hey.
We working out here.
how much you
I
want to
know.
work?
I know. I did say I
I've been
just
taking
need a day
weekends
off.
though.
How much do you want to work?
I've been taking off, like I've closed off weekends, which I'm very happy about. Like some weekends, I'm trying to do at least like either one full weekend once a month.
Yeah.
So no Saturday, Sunday, and that's it. Or like one Sunday and then one Saturday, depending on the weekend and what I'd want to do and stuff like that.
Well,
Um,
I think what's crazy and people don't realize is like, okay, if you were to work a normal 9 to 5 job, you get 2 days off a week, even if you are full time.
yeah. You
So
always
we
get to-
like, as a photographer, we should
Yeah.
be taking 2
have
days
to.
off. We should, but I mean,
don't always do.
I'm not. I mean, we had a snow day yesterday, and my boyfriend works construction, so he was home all day, and I like still felt fucking guilty. And I was like,
Yeah.
I should be working right now.
Same.
Like, I should not be taking a snow day.
Same.
I mean, I don't
Same,
really
same.
have anything this entire week because I was supposed to go down to California, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be raining over there all week, and
that's
the
not
mountains
fun.
are definitely not in the best conditions to drive through right now.
Yeah, no.
So I had closed off from Monday through Thursday.
Oh shit.
So now I'm like, I don't have anything till probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is fine.
Twitch.
So I don't really know what. Yeah, Twitch, building Legos. That's what I'm gonna be
Oh,
doing.
I was gonna talk to you about Legos, man. I knew I wanted to talk to you about something. So my little brother, okay, we're 13 years apart. So my dad was a big Star Wars buff growing up. And so as my brother grew up, he got him hooked on like Star Wars, and then got him hooked on Legos. And like, kid you not, I think my brother has owned every single like
Star Wars set.
No, like collection. Period. End of story. Like every piece that has come out in a collection, he's owned it.
Damn.
Like,
it's a lot of money.
I know. I wish, like, I really wish I had photos to send to you. But like growing up, I wish my brother knew how much and like how valuable he had. Because I remember there was like one morning, I was like walking, and I like the Death Star was like sitting out on the it was just sitting out on the floor. Yep. And I kicked it on accident.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, yeah.
You know how many pieces that thing is?
Oh, yeah.
It's like 3,000 pieces.
Fucking brutal.
That's not nice.
And then, like, I'm also...
definitely going to cancel.
I'm just traumatized from, like, stepping on Legos, man.
Oh, it
like,
hurts.
My feet are...
That hasn't happened to me since I was, like, 13, but it hurts.
That was pretty stressful. But he's still getting collections to this day. Like,
I love collecting stuff, but then I try to chill on it because it's expensive.
It does. Because I asked him this year, I was like, okay, what piece you want? Like, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? And so I was like looking them up on Amazon and stuff, and like, okay, I'm a big Friends buff, and they have a Friends Lego set, and even that Lego set is like $60.
Yeah.
I was like,
most of like the little small boxes like this are either $20 to $30.
Yeah,
and
like that, and they've got like
a medium size is like 60, and then anything 1,000 plus pieces can be between like $120 to $300.
That's insane to me.
That's wild.
Hey, Legos are it though. I have so many built now. I have them all in a shelf, and I'm waiting to build 2 more to finally show my little collection I've acquired in the past like month and a half. I used to have Legos when I was like when I was 17, I got my first set. So my parents never bought me any growing up. They were like, why am I going to pay $30 for shit you're going to lose?
Yeah, right?
And I was like, well, damn. So they would never buy me Legos. And then when I started having money from working and that I had extra, I'm like, I'm going to buy a damn Lego set. And then I like built them, but then they kind of just stayed in the closet somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I think eventually I might have just cleaned out my closet and threw everything out, and I lost like a couple of sets. But now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hold on to these very dearly.
I'm gonna save
I'm actually gonna like put them somewhere and keep them
display,
safe.
You know?
But I have been kind of addicted to buying some. I need to chill out. I have 3 unbuilt ones, but
ask me how many I've got.
A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
0.
You know who's really into Legos too?
0.
Chef,
yes.
I started seeing that on his story lately.
No
I'm like,
way.
you're into Legos? He's like, dude, hella bad. I'm like, let's go have a Lego building date.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He agreed. I was like,
That's
I'll go to your house and we'll build Legos together. He's like, bet. I was like, all right, that'll be fun.
His work is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, Chef kills it.
Holy shit.
Nice.
This is like the 4th episode in a row that we talk about it.
Really? I think everybody has has like a photography crush on him.
That guy, he sucks. He's average.
Worst photographer in Reno.
He's good.
Don't hire Chef. I'm just kidding.
Don't say that.
He's great. He's great.
Dude, you're such a hater, man.
Oh my god.
Who's a hater around here?
Chef.
You are. All right, McKenna. We are getting to the end of this.
Already? That was so fast.
I know.
It's been like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Already?
It's been a long time. Do you want
Flies by.
to plug the Instagram again? Make sure that people know where they can find you.
So it's at McKennaPaynePhoto. I'm on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter is at McKennaPaynePhoto as well. So you can
Where do you get most of your business? Instagram?
Yeah, definitely on Instagram. Mainly on Instagram. My website is McKennaPaynePhoto.com too. So it's all pretty similar.
There you go.
Super easy to find me.
Sweet. She official. She has a website.
I have a website.
Unlike us.
I'm actually redoing it too. Like I just
It's so hard.
launched
Isn't it so hard to build it and everything?
Yes. It's
Seems
ridiculous.
stressful. Maybe that's why I don't have one.
Yeah, we don't have one, but
don't do it.
Maybe we should. I don't know. All right,
thanks
everybody.
for having me, guys.
No, thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. Good talks about a lot of different stuff. Which is kind of
that was so random.
We don't always like to just talk about what you do and everything.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Have a fun time, and we'll get your picture, and then you'll be out of here.
Sweet.
All right, everybody. That's a wrap. Bye.
Should we just keep this up? Can we get over it? 'Cause haven't we had enough? Can we get over it? Or are we too deep enough? Can we get over it? No. honest.